Hey guys, this is Harley from Hardly Core Gaming. I just got on to make this video real quick about my hunter. He is level 85 fresh. Let me bring up my character screen. Right there, he only has a 338 item level, so he's in pretty shit gear for 4.3, honestly. But he is fresh. Just gonna do a quick talents glyphs overview and explain to you kind of why I made the choices that I did. I am spec survival main spec. Marksman is my off spec right now, but I'm gonna switch to beast mastery so that I can get those cool exotic pets. All right, so the first tier, I skipped Hunter versus Wild because the stamina isn't that great for me. Because if I'm in a dungeon or a raid or something like that, I'm not going to be taking hits, so I didn't really feel like I needed that. I thought pathing was better for the ranged haste, and then I thought improved serpent sting is your bread and butter. And as you can see there, your serpent sting also deals instant damage equal to 30% of its total effect, and it increases the critical strike chance of your serpent sting by 10%. And as a survival hunter, as any hunter actually, you want to keep serpent sting up all the time, especially as survival, because throughout the entire tree you get buffs to your serpent sting and to things about your serpent sting. So down here on the second level, there wasn't that great of choices. Again, I didn't take survival tactics and I didn't take entrapment. I skipped out on survival tactics because that I don't really have to worry about my traps getting resisted or anything in PvE. The disengage cooldown's kind of cool, but again, that's not something I'm going to need unless my tank's having aggro issues. So I decided on trap mastery to increase. The only reason why I took this is to increase the damage of my black arrow and my explosive trap by 30%. Because also, as a survival hunter, you're going to be wanting to fire a fire trap spell or your black arrow whenever it's off of cooldown. Always. You're going to want to keep that on cooldown at all times. I skipped entrapment because, in PvE, there are very rare situations where you're going to want to hold targets that are affected by your traps, prevent them from moving. So I didn't really take that. I took point of no escape because it's just a flat crit chance increase to all the targets that are affected by my ice trap and my freezing trap. I really put them there because I didn't have I had to spend the points somewhere. Thinking about it now, I could have put them in Hunter versus Wild, but it's not going to be a game changer, honestly. I skipped counterattack for obvious reasons because I'm not going to be parrying any opponent's attack, so I don't need it. I did take Thrill of the Hunt because I have a 15% chance when I use Arcane Shot, Explosive Shot, or Black Arrow to instantly regain 40% of the base focus cost of the shot, and that procs a lot because you're going to be using Explosive Shot on cooldown and Black Arrow on cooldown all the time. You're going to be keeping those on cooldown. Those are your priorities as a survival hunter. And then your Arcane Shot's just filler for when Black Arrow and Explosive Shot are on cooldown. So you're going to be using Arcane Shot just to, dump focus. Now, Lock and Load. This is your bread and butter as a survival hunter. This is what makes survival so awesome, do so much damage, and just all around an ass-kicking spec. You have a 100% chance when you trap a target with a freezing trap or ice trap to cause your next 2 explosive shots to cost no focus and trigger no cooldown. The effect lasts for 12 seconds. That's not so great for the ice traps, but you need to be taking TNT because basically it makes it so that your fire traps and your black arrow also trigger lock and load. And it doesn't tell you in here, but it actually resets the cooldown on your explosive shot. So if you fire your serpent sting, your black arrow, and then your explosive shot onto the target, and your explosive shots on cooldown, if you get a lock and load proc, it'll actually reset the base cooldown, and it'll give you 2 free explosive shots, and it'll give you your next one. By that time, you'll have enough focus to fire off your next one to put it back on cooldown. So down here, I didn't take Mirrored Blades because I didn't need to reflect back any damage from my attacker when I used deterrence. I took Resourcefulness because it's just a flat cooldown cooldown reducing talent of my Black Arrow, which I'm going to be keeping on cooldown all the time. And Toxicology is a very, very, very great talent because it increases the periodic crit damage of our Serpent Sting and our Black Arrow by 100%. Again, those two spells are going to be keeping on cooldown and just the flat extra damage from the crits. You also are an agility champion, or I'm sorry, an agility class, so your crit chance is going to be high already. So that's just an all-around really great talent that's going to buff it a lot. Wyvern Sting, the only reason why I took Wyvern Sting is for the Black Arrow. It's good for CC, but I have my Freezing Trap too, so I don't really ever use Wyvern Sting. I took Nauseous Stings because it increases the damage done on targets afflicted by our Serpent Sting by 10%, and Serpent Sting is going to be on everything that you're attacking, always, all the time, so 10% damage. It's really, really great. And then I took a Hunting Party because it's just a raid buff, actually. It increases our total agility by 2% and increases the ranged and melee attack speed of our party and raid members by 10%. So then I took Sniper Training, and this is where I see a lot of survival hunters swapping points in this section of the tree. I chose Sniper Training because more often than not I'm gonna be standing still for longer than 6 seconds. And that's just a flat 6% damage increase on your Cobra Shot, which is your filler. That's what you're going to be casting to get your focus back. It's also going to be refreshing the duration of your Serpent Sting, so it's going to keep that on, so you only have to cast Serpent Sting once. And Serpent Spread. Now this talent is what makes Survival king of AoE. King of AoE. Targets hit by our multi-shot are also affected by our Serpent Sting, equal to 6 seconds of its duration. Now, also remember we took improved Serpent Sting up here, so our Serpent Sting also does instant damage equal to 30% of the total periodic effect. So when you're firing multi-shot, you're going to get the nice fat hit from multi-shot, and you're going to get more damage on top of that hit from your improved Serpent Sting. And your Serpent Sting is going to be ticking away on all the targets that your multi-shot hits. So basically the AoE rotation is just, multi-shot, Serpent Sting, multi-shot, and then you just fill in 2 Cobra shots, and then another multi-shot. And down here is Black Arrow. It's fires a Black Arrow at the target, dealing 15,000 shadow damage over 20 seconds. Black Arrow shares a cooldown with other trap spells. And Black Arrow, not only is it a really, really powerful dot, but it's going to be triggering our lock and load. Now over here in Beast Mastery, I took one with Nature because it's just a flat attack power bonus of our Aspect of the Hawk. It's really, really great. In our Marksmanship tree, we took Go for the Throat, just so that we could get Sick'em. And that's really, really good because your pet is very, very important to your damage, much more important than most hunters give it credit for. And then I took Efficiency just to reduce the focus cost of our Explosive Shot and Arcane Shot. So that's all fine and dandy right there. So let me show you the rotation a little bit. Actually, hold on just one sec. Alright guys, sorry about that. I had to close the background program. My bag just opened up. Okay, so here we have the Raiders training dummy. First thing we're going to want to be doing is putting Hunter's Mark up. Alright, and then we're going to want to call our pet out. And my pet's name is Gizmo. He's a little saber-toothed tiger from Shalazar Basin. So Hunter's Mark up. You open with your Serpent Sting, your Black Arrow, Explosive Shot, and then you spam the Cobra shots. Spam them, spam them, spam them, spam them, spam them. Now we're getting more focused. Throw an Arcane Shot into an Explosive Shot, and there's our Lock and Load proc. You just hammer the target with your Explosive Shots. Now, before the 4.3 patch, clipping your Explosive Shots was a DPS loss, but they actually fixed it now, so it's not. So you're just going to want to be using your Explosive Shot as often as possible. Your priorities, they're going to be Explosive Shot into your Black Arrow into your Cobra Shot. So that's what you're going to be doing. There's another Lock and Load proc, a little high on focus, everything's on cooldown, throw an Arcane Shot. And now when you pop Rapid Fire, you're really going to have to pay attention to your focus because you get increased focus regeneration from Rapid Fire, so you're going to have more focus than you know what to do with most of the time. So you throw out your explosive shots, spam some arcane shots, and there's a lock and load proc, so just hammer the target. And the enemy is getting focus capped. Full focus is a wasted DPS. Wasted DPS. It's not good for our DPS. So you're just going to be just keeping your focus down around 30 or 40, and again, just keep your black arrow up as much as possible. Use explosive shot whenever possible. Alright guys, well that was our basic guide for our survival hunter. I'll be putting up a video later today with a heroic demonstration. So this has been Harley with Hardly Core Gaming. I'll see you guys next time.